sudden death of 26-year-old Indian-American techie in the United States that has raised eyebrows, and amid growing concern over the death of Suchir Balaji, who is a former employee of OpenAI and a whistleblower accused the company of violating copyright laws. Balaji had claimed that OpenAI's process to collect data from the internet for model training led to copyright infringement. And according to the San Francisco police officials, Balaji died by suicide in his apartment back in November. However, his parents have been making certain allegations as they have been saying that there is a possible foul play involved. Suchir's parents exclusively spoke to Times Now, with his mother claiming foul play in his untimely death, insisting that her son was not someone who could take such an extreme step, and has further demanded investigation by the FBI. Suchir's parents, who are joining us live right now, we would want to hear from you and your claims that you have been making over the death of your son. Exactly what you're pointing out, claiming that there is a certain foul play involved.
Is this foul play? Absolute foul play. Because first of all, our son was very happy. He just went to vacation and he came back. He spoke to Balaji, my husband, on 22nd November at 7:15 p.m. And like, we have access to his journal and his conversations in chat messages. We spoke to his friends and he had a concrete career plan and he had absolute no sign of disturbance. And also, most importantly, what they need to take into account is his emotional state under death note. There was no such thing. If he's happy at 7:15, had dinner at 7:30, what can go wrong in next few hours? The suspicion that, and we know our son can never do these things, made us do a second autopsy. And the second autopsy confirmed that it's caused, it's a murder.
What makes you say that? Because was Suchir also planning some sort of a legal action before this unfortunate death happened? What have been your revelations as far as you being pointing out and giving out that information? Was he planning to do something?
Yes, Suchir actually went on news media and he gave an interview on October 23rd to New York Times. What he stated there is OpenAI is violating copyrights and he explains what is the harm. He also gave his own publication in his website suchir.net where he explains how this can harm and what is its, what is its impact to society. All he tried to do was protect humanity, protect the copyrights, protect the work of artists and journalists. He had a very high ulterior motive towards the world, in fact. He was a great humanitarian. And he was, yes, to support his views, and he did want to be a witness in New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI and Microsoft. Yes, he wanted to testify.
So, Purnamaji, what happened as far as the family of Suchir, you and your husband who have been claiming that, was there any unusual activity that was noted on his devices after his death? And, when someone so self-assured, you say, wouldn't take an extreme step like this. So what exactly, when it comes to his devices, has there been any foul play with that regards that you have a suspicion?
Yeah, actually, we found that his pen drive is missing and his apartment is ransacked in search of his pen drive, as well as his desktop. His desktop was left open for 3 days. November 22nd or 23rd early morning is when his whatever happened, right? That's what the medical examiner said. But the computer was left open for 3 days until 26th. And when we went on 29th, also it's open. What we know is Suchir had password and his computer would go to sleep. And also we found some temp files. I wouldn't want to be too technical here. Some temp files for the Google Drive were deleted. And we only found the temp files from the day we picked up. So we suspect that his desktop has been hacked and some data has been removed.
Did he say anything about making such revelations to you or to anyone else back at home, with his friends or anyone, where he's been making such accusations of the violations of US copyright law while developing Chat GPT? Has he made such kind of revelations before that he's going to go public with it?
Oh, he told me actually that he's doing personal research early on in end of September and early October, he did mention to me that he's doing his own personal research. And he said, once his work is done, he's going to publish it, let the world see. That's all he said. And he published his article in which he mathematically proves what he believes. And he proves that this, whatever way these LLM models are creating the answers, some of the answers are manipulated as per my understanding of his article. I'm sure, like, that's my opinion.
So what is that the police is now saying? Because according to them, there is no evidence of foul play, and they have been calling it as a case of suicide. How do you go further with this development as far as the police investigation is concerned, and what your findings have been till now?
We have been writing to authorities, and our findings are straightforward. And police have not done any investigation. Within 40 minutes, medical examiner came. He didn't even question me about my son's mental state. There was no suicide note. They didn't want to even listen to our grievance. They didn't listen to our appeal. But we're not giving up because we have the evidence and we have the proof. Now we are taking it to American authorities, and the law and order will take course of action.
So you've been claiming that he had compiled certain evidence to support his claims. What was he planning to do? Was he going, public, going out to the media or to major media outlets stating that, something like this, something big is going to happen? Did he make any sort of a decision like that?
Nothing like that. He was actually a peace lover, an amazing human being. Like, people brand him, but we know as parents, like, he never had enmity to anyone. And if he really stood up for something, it must have a great cause.
So what doubts do you have, Purnimaji, especially when it comes to the circumstances of his death, claiming unusual activity on his devices after his death? What exactly are the doubts that you are now raising?
Obviously, he had some data that played a key role, and that data has been stolen. That's our opinion. Again, we need facts to prove that. That's our suspicion. And also, New York Times has revealed that on 18th of October, on November, they have submitted to court that my son had some valid documents that would prove the copyright laws and something against OpenAI. And within a week after he was submitted as a witness, he's gone. We can only corroborate, but facts have to prove.
So why did Suchir leave OpenAI?
The reason being the copyright violation, and he felt it's unethical and he was not happy with it. But what bothers us is he was so smart. OpenAI is not the only AI company, right? What put him on a break, and why he was waiting to take a year gap, and why he was leaving the entire AI industry? Did OpenAI threaten him? Is something that we need to explore and see.
So you are seeking, as far as the FBI, to take over the case and investigate?
We are seeking FBI investigation, given that it's a deep nexus and there's a lot of things that need to come out here.
All right, we heard